Hey guys, welcome back to Lucid Trading on this wonderful and beautiful weekend day, the Sunday. We're going to be analyzing some stocks. We're going to see where the market is heading, see where tech growth, recovery, and value stocks are heading. Welcome back. Good. For some people, it might be morning, but I highly doubt it. Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to Lucid Trading. All right, so let's see. Hopefully my mic is okay. I made some adjustments. I did notice there were some people that were complaining about the sound being too, I would say, just too little. See if that's going to be, see if that's improved now. Welcome to P-Lup, Ubermensch, Latin King, Leveling Up, LFTE Fit, E-Span, Burge, Mitch, Jude, Himanshu, John, Grant, Paulina, Mir Ahmed, Greg, J-Max. Welcome back, guys. You cool? Yeah, I am cool. I am feeling all right. I hope you guys are doing all right. I hope you guys had an awesome weekend so far. It is definitely going to be a very interesting trading week ahead of us. As you guys might know, stimulus has been passed. People are getting stimulus. People are expecting it the coming days to be coming into their bank accounts. And we'll see what the effect of that is going to be on pretty much the stock market. Hello, bro. Are you bored? No, I'm not bored. Okay, so hopefully I can just... all right, let's just grab this chart. Okay. So why is this coming week, the coming days, why is it going to be important? Well, for one thing, we have the stimulus coming in, right? Stimulus is coming in. That is getting there. It's going to be awesome. However, we also have on top of that, I do remember the eviction moratorium is going to be gone. And I don't know if that's already been paused or not through the Biden administration. Basically, what's been happening is that a lot of people couldn't pay their rent, their mortgage payments, and so basically those people didn't have to pay it for a very long time, and that actually expired. Oh wait, it's not expired the 14th. It's going to be expiring very soon, but they're going to be talking about it very soon. So at the end of the month, that's going to be expiring, which is basically going to meaning that all those people are going to be getting evicted. So they're talking about that right now, I believe, which is going to be quite crucial for also the stock market, because if everybody's getting evicted, well, it's going to be very bad for the economy and bad for the stock market in general. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the live stream. Welcome back to Lucid Trading. Tap that like button on this awesome Sunday. Let's have an awesome time together. All right. Back to the chart. All right, so we're going to make some predictions. We're going to do some analyses, especially, of course, on the market. We want to know where the Nasdaq is heading, because if we know where the Nasdaq is heading, we basically know where stocks are heading, in particular these growth and tech stocks that we cover most of the time. Okay, so this has been the short-term trend line. You can see it right here. It's been holding up for roughly 6 months. It's been quite accurate so far. And now we want to also have an upwards channel here. So it seems like we can just almost casually extend this all the way through. There you go. And we need to have some key support and resistance levels on the Nasdaq, which obviously this has been quite a nice support and a resistance area here. I would say would be roughly at 13,600, 13,920. Let me grab some fib retracement levels. Right, so that is a resistance one. Another one, yeah, so I pointed that out earlier. Now let's remove this. We will not need this, I would say. So this is a resistance point. And we have another one right here. 13,627. I guess we don't have to focus on that one yet. We'll be focusing on this resistance area, which it has to be breaching to be actually creating another all-time high, of course. Patrick Lamb is coming in with a $5 donation, and he says, you said XBang will go up to 50 this week for entertainment purposes. Out of Palantir, XBang, and Neo, is XBang still the hottest stock for this week? We'll check those out in a minute. I'm trying to cover the stock market right now, but thank you for that donation, Patrick. We'll talk about that in a couple minutes. We'll look at the technicals on all of these stocks, and I'll give you my personal opinion on them. We'll see if it's actually which one of them is going to be the most attractive right now. But yeah, keep in mind this is not financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. This is all for education purposes only. Right, so daily chart, we know it's in an uptrend. It's still in an uptrend. We haven't quite gotten to a bear trend. Now, what would be a bear trend? Obviously, if it kind of heads down like that, or if it goes sideways and then heads down, it would create a bear trend. So it would be sitting in a bear market. But yeah, with stimulus coming out and with the support that we're getting for the stock market, I would say there's a low likelihood of any kind of crash happening here. And you can see right here, cross bearish on the 4 hours actually. So that is a bit negative. You can see how much it has gone down from that movement. It's holding up the EMAs here. And generally speaking, I would say the kind of rallies that we see, it could be comparable to that right here. With the move that we're seeing in the momentum, the MACD. And RSI is not quite overbought. There's a lot of room to be going to the upside, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see a rally like that and then resistance. So that's my expectation right here. Now going to the 1 hour, what's happening here on the 1 hour? Looking very solid. We saw a MACD cross, so it could continue this rally. Yeah, so that's my expectation right now. We would see a continuation of that rally. Almost definitely. Although you do see a little bit of weakness here because you might notice how the MACD movement to the downside and to the upside, results in different price movement. This has been a very steep downturn, and you can see this in the MACD, and then it barely went up on this movement here on the momentum. Same with the RSI actually. See what the 15 minutes is saying. 15 minutes has been bullish for quite some time. Same MACD kind of movements, yet the price came down much more. That is very bearish. Let me check the 4 hours again. Yeah, the 4 hours were not looking that good. But the daily chart is about to cross. And the 1 hour is crossed already. 2 hours about to cross to the upside as well. Yeah, so my expectation is it moves to that resistance area. So let's say it kind of moves in this kind of fashion. Tomorrow is going to be the 15th of March. So that gives us until the 20th. Yeah, so I would say the overall trend is still to the upside. Unless, something happens like yields really skyrocket. This is the trend. The trend obviously tends to be your friend. And that's the zone where I think we're going to see it heading up. However, keep in mind that if the Nasdaq does show weakness here, it could just as fast go down here. But that would be on strong yield, if the yield really goes up fast. So if we can track the yield and see, the yields are like not going up super fast, well, we will see it trend upwards. Probably see a lot of resistance here. Not expecting it to go to that all-time high yet. That is not going to happen, I would say. Although it does look very strong on the daily chart. You can see last time we saw a massive crosshair to the upside, and it started running. Although I'm not so sure about this. Yeah, it could keep on running. Okay, so I think it could be, in general, a positive week for the Nasdaq. Although I don't think it's going to be as positive as what we saw last week. I am not expecting anywhere near to this kind of positivity that we had. Huge run to the upside. So if anything, if we're lucky, it reaches this point here. If not, it will reach that 13,200. But yeah, I generally am positive on what I'm seeing right now, personally, I would say. Weekly chart. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. That's what I'm seeing right now. So Nasdaq probably going to be positive this the coming week. And if it's not, it is because of yields spiking really fast. So if that would be the case, which, let me think about that one. It could actually run. I'm expecting yields to keep running, but it depends on the acceleration. So if it really goes up fast, like 5 to 10% on a daily basis, well, yeah, then you got a problem. But if that is not the case, it's going to be just fine. And we're seeing a lot of resistance coming in on the 4 hours, and on the 1 hour, it looks like it's about to be going down, right? So you see the MACD cross here; it's already overbought in the higher levels on the RSI. So you would expect it to fall down from here on the short term. So Monday, Tuesday, probably. Hey Gara, how are you feeling the market? I keep hearing more and more the stock market's going to crap. No. I don't think that's going to be happening on the short term. I highly doubt that. I don't think that's going to be happening on the short term. That's maybe going to happen maybe like end of the year, possibly end of next year. I don't think that's going to be happening. I think April is going to be a very positive month. Yeah, I just don't think the market's going to crash. It wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. All right, we had a $5 donation from Patrick Lamb, and he said, XPeng will go up to 50 this week. You said XPeng will go up to 50 this week. Out of Palantir, XPeng, and Neo, is XPeng still the hottest? Okay, we'll be looking at those, and I'll tell you which I personally prefer. Let's see. Yeah, I've still been bullish on Palantir. In terms of percentage gain, I think... I could definitely see Palantir go up like 50% with yeah, so Palantir could go up 50% for the demo day, which is 1 month from now. So yeah, 50%. I mean, that's pretty sweet. Which is roughly to that $40. Let's just say 35, so like 40%, right? So 40% gain could be possible there. But you know, with XPeng, you do know there is like supply issues there. Palantir doesn't have supply issues. I could see it move to the $50 on XPeng beginning of April. That would be a roughly 40% gain, I think, at that point. Roughly 40%. So yeah, XPeng looks better there. And it also has a higher all-time high. Technically speaking, looking very solid. Both of them had a lock-up period expiration recently. They're both in different sectors, though. So keep that in mind. However, one thing to note about XPeng, as it runs into Q2, Q3, Q4, it generally performs better. So yeah, I would say this is still not a good quarter for the EV industry itself. So yeah, let me just compare. Yeah, this is I don't know. I think short term, I think short term, Palantir definitely looking better. Short term, right? The next month. But longer term, if we take the next 6 months, I would definitely say XPeng is better. But yeah, I like XPeng. Short term, I like XPeng. I've been liking XPeng for a while now. So let's see, where was it? There you go. So we're already looking at it. Yeah, so I saw it drop to 25. I was like, guys, $25 for XPeng stock, that is really cheap. And well, it went to 35. And I think this is just the beginning. This MACD cross right here, momentum is heading up. We could definitely watch this go up to the $50 or get very close to it, maybe the 45. But yeah, $50 could be a possibility on XPeng. It could be a high possibility on XPeng. It's a great company, great growth. The market cap isn't too bloated in comparison to some companies that we've seen. And on any kind of positive news, it will run so fast, I would say. Let's see. AI stock. Do I dare to say this? Will AI stock run faster than both of them? Okay, so C3.ai, it might run faster than both of these stocks. You can see right here, it's going to take a little bit a while for this MACD cross to happen. Generally, it starts running before that cross, of course. It starts running, and then it crosses, and then it keeps running. So that's what I'm kind of thinking. It has more room to be going, especially because of this vast move to the downside. But I would say it's a bit risky. I think it will definitely fill this gap to the 120s, which is a $30 run to the upside, which it's not on the same level as Palantir. Well, Palantir could be running. Yeah, so I would say definitely XPeng on the short term. What did I say? Palantir on the short term, XPeng on the longer term. My apologies. I think I said it wrong. All right, let's see. But yeah, thank you for that donation, Patrick. I do appreciate that. That is awesome. Let's go back. Back to the Nasdaq. Okay, so what are the consequences going to be if the Nasdaq starts running like this? Well, we have seen in the past, if the Nasdaq goes up like 3 or 4 percentage points, you'll generally see big tech run with it, right? Big tech goes along with it. Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, they're all going to be running. And not only that, the smaller tech companies, they're going to run super fast because they're mostly, they're running on multiples. And generally speaking, they go up like 5 times or 4 to 5 times the amount that the Nasdaq is going up on good days. So, yeah, we could definitely see Palantir run to the 30s and above. AI run to the hundreds and above. We could see XPeng run back to the 40s and above. Neo to the 50s and above. Tesla going above the 730s, probably 730s, I would say. Maybe even back to the 780s if we are in luck the coming days. And yeah, Snowflake is going to be running. All of tech and growth, all the growth and tech stocks will be performing really well. You will probably see these value stocks, because if we can check the Dow Jones, for example, on the I would say the daily chart, I think you're going to see these value stocks kind of flatten out a little bit, and a lot of money is going to be pouring back into growth and tech. Let me check the live chat here. Has Tesla left the station? Tesla is still looking good, and it's going to be running. Hi Gara, how was your weekend? My weekend was okay. It was just spending some time with family and friends, and the casual kind of weekend. Also, an update: we're now actively busy on creating the website for Lucid Trading. So that is really awesome. Three people working on it, obviously me and 2 other people that are exceptionally well at programming, and we're working on getting that right very soon. So that is absolutely phenomenal. Just wanted to let you guys know about that. So, sometimes when I am either going live a little bit less or not been uploading that much, it's been because of that, I would say. In the past, of course, I don't think I will have a lot more issues with that in the coming weeks. So that is pretty solid. Gara, check out AONE. It has a reoccurring revenue and has clients like SpaceX. Let me check it out. I want to just check out what's how it looks like on the technicals, right? A1. Yeah. There's not a whole lot I can see about it here. A1. It's a blank check. Or maybe I typed it in wrong. It could also be the case. ARK is in on A1. Well, I don't really care a whole lot about that. ARK also leaves companies quite often. Would have been nice to get this at 11, but it's now sitting at 12. I would say I don't know a whole lot about this company, so I can't really say anything about it. The company that's going to be merging with it, since it's a SPAC, so I don't see revenues, I don't see anything, no market cap, no nothing. So can't say much about it. Not a whole lot of technical info. If I just go purely off technicals, I wouldn't be surprised if it keeps running. I wouldn't be surprised if it keeps going, but I don't know for sure. I don't know much about the fundamentals. Thoughts on CCIV? Yeah, my thoughts on CCIV, to be really honest, I think it is time for CCIV to be shining. I've been saying this for a while now. I was waiting. We're all waiting for the merger to be happening so that we can finally buy into the actual Lucid ticker of the company. And so far, it hasn't happened yet, and we're kind of waiting for that. And I would say at $26.8, I would say it is looking okay. It's not looking spectacular. We could see it go up to the $40 on hype. There's going to be a lot of hype, and you will see the price go up substantially, but it's not going to hold up. So what this play is most likely going to be, it's going to be a swing trade. We're going to see it run roughly to the $40. My expectation is $40. If it's at $40, obviously the market cap of it's going to be like roughly 50 to 60 billion for a while. But that would be no surprise, since Lucid Motors, they actually have a vehicle, they're producing it, although they're not going to be delivering as many of it as we expected. So my expectation is it kind of runs like that, and then we get the merger coming in. I think it's going to be in April, and then it skyrockets to 40, and it kind of comes back down. Something like that would be the possibility here. Of course, in comparison to the recent high that we saw, I don't think it's going to create another all-time high. I highly doubt that, because that would basically mean we're going to see it at like 100 billion market cap with only selling 600 vehicles this year at the end of it, of course. So regarding CCIV, I think I would probably get in right now and then hit that. If it hits that $40, get the hell out as run away. Long term, I do believe the company is going to be good. But short term, I think it's going to run to 40. It's going to fall back down again. So that's what I think of CCIV. The buying opportunity has already gone away. This right here, that was a buying opportunity with CCIV. I think it's going to sit right at this valuation for a long time until it can actually scale up its deliveries and manufacturing capacity. I would say there's like a 50% upside, roughly speaking. But I do believe in the company. I do think it's a great company. I do think they have great leadership. Great, their cars look pretty good. Let's see. Thoughts of Bitcoin. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna give you my thoughts on Bitcoin. Yeah, so Bitcoin, I would say it's a little bit. Okay, so with Bitcoin, I would probably assume that we're getting closer and closer to the top. We're seeing people get into Bitcoin that know nothing about Bitcoin, that know nothing about investing, that know nothing about trading. Those people are getting into the market now, in on Bitcoin. I personally have some friends and some family, some female friends of mine that are totally not into finance, recently got into Bitcoin. I'm like, wow, that is quite amazing. But yeah, generally speaking, when people don't know much about a particular asset or equity, and those people are getting in, and if it's like a lot of people like that, then that does signify that we're getting closer and closer to a market top. I would not be surprised if very soon we're going to see it like top out and just plummet. Very much like what we have seen in the past. If I can showcase this, because I do think I have to look at the daily chart for this. Oh, they don't show it here. That's kind of funny. Why don't they show us? Binance doesn't show you that Bitcoin has actually crashed in the past. That is kind of crazy. Wait, BTC USDT. Maybe it's this one. There you go. Okay, so yeah, this was the crash that we had. So Bitcoin actually had a halving, which is basically the supply of Bitcoin becomes restricted. And that happens every 4 years, I believe. And the last time it happened was in 2016. And then you see a parabolic run-up. Well, it happened recently again, but now in 2020. And notice how this was roughly 1.5 years away from the halving event. And in 2020, it happened again. This was in May, I believe, 2020 May. Right here, the halving event. And 1.5 years after, we have a parabolic run. Very, very similar movement here. So that's very peculiar. And not only that, the percentages are quite close to each other. The percentage, in terms of like the equity rising to the upside, in terms of like percentage points, very close to each other. And I would say even the cycles, the bull cycle, how often it went up, and how often it saw a correction. But yeah, it's not completely the same. It's not exactly the same, I would say. That would be quite literally impossible. And I would say it's also not... You cannot accurately predict where Bitcoin is going. That's just not possible. Hate to break it to some people, but it's rather volatile. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so... In this kind of scenario, I would expect there would be one large breakout, which is happening right now as we speak, and it breaks out massively, right? So huge parabolic move, potentially hit the 80,000. It seems like it could hit the 80,000, right? Hit the $80,000 and then crash down. And I think it could potentially go down all the way back to 35,000. 30,000, 35,000, something like that. And of course, this is all speculation. It could keep running. The parabolic move could go up more, but this is my personal estimation on what I think and what I've seen, and this is my opinion on the matter. Okay. So yeah, I think it could potentially run through roughly that 80,000 mark, and then top out, and then plummets all the way. This would basically mean RSI super overbought, MACD spiking, and, well, after that, the collapse of it. You're going to reach like a kind of a top in terms of demand. The demand cannot feed the move to the upside on Bitcoin at some point. Are you still bullish on C3.ai? Yes, I am. Cheered van Gennep coming in with a $5 New Zealand dollar donation. Hey Gara, just something different, but could you check on Fastnet and Adyen for me, please? As always, cheers. Cheers for that donation. I'll check out Fastnet and Adyen. Let me see if I can find Fastnet. There's a massive gap to be filled here. Right. Quite a difficult one, eh? It's not making it easy. Check the 4 hours. Yeah, I think with this particular stock, it's going to cross to the upside, right? So it's trending to the upside. I think it's going to reach that 73, but whether it fills that gap, that's going to be another question. If the market is bullish enough, it's going to fill the gap, but I think it does look like it's going to be moving to the $70 to $75 range. To me, I would say. Although I don't like what's happening on the weekly. Weekly does look like, in terms of the MACD, it's about to be crossing very soon. So I don't think it's going to quite get to that all-time high. But yeah, that's my opinion on Fastnet. Now let's go to Adyen. I think it's a Dutch company, yeah. There you go. Yeah, I said it was going to go up here. But it didn't happen because of the Nasdaq. It's having an impact on like stocks abroad as well. If the Nasdaq goes down. Let's see. So on the 30 minutes, yeah, it is definitely rallying to the upside. You can see that. Yeah, this is also a resistance zone here. It doesn't like to go above that. It actually plummeted down, well, several times around that price point of 1,980. So it doesn't like to pass through that. Might it retest it soon? Probably. Yeah, I think it's gonna be running. It's gonna be running here. It's gonna go. I think it's gonna be breaching that resistance, all the way to the 2000s, probably. But that's all I can say about it right now, just on the short-term metrics. Arfan Bhatti coming in with a $5 donation, and he says, hello again. Are you bullish or bearish the next 2 weeks, especially Tesla and Nasdaq? Good question. Yeah, the next 2 weeks. It's I would say the next week I'm bullish, but the week after that is going to be crucial as well. But I think the week after is not going to be... I don't think it's going to be a very positive one. So yeah, in general, I would say... Yeah, I'm bullish. Let's just say I'm bullish, but not like super bullish. Not roaring. I'm not saying I'm a roaring bull. I'm bullish, but it's not anything like special. I think stocks will be heading up. Let's see. All right, let me go back to stocks. Yeah, I kind of want to be looking a little bit at Tesla. We can see that it hit this support zone. It got very close to breaching it, but I think in general this was the support at the 555. It rallied upwards to the 717. The MACD came down quite substantially here, and it sort of bottomed out, and it crossed again. So I think Tesla is looking like it's going to be breaching this resistance here, which is good news. So probably head to the 740s. That's the next resistance it's going to be testing. We have tested the $718 to $720 level several times. Now the next level it's going to be testing is the 740, 750s. I would say that's going to be happening tomorrow, after tomorrow, etc. So still looking quite nicely. Non-market questions. Holland out of lockdown now? No, it is still not out of lockdown. It's quite a mess right now. Still. Yeah, I think Tesla's looking good. On the technicals, Tesla is just going to be running. I would say most probably. Maybe the 1 hour is telling us something different. No, it's not. 1 hour looking good. It's, guys, I'm telling you, it looks like it's going to be running. Only thing I'm a little bit cautious about is the 4 hours, but yeah, generally when the 4 hours look like this, it does run. Especially after a downturn, especially if the daily chart, this daily chart, MACD crossover here, that is a bullish signal. That is in of itself enough, gives enough confidence to, for me to be saying that, hey, it's going to recover to the 800s. It will do it throughout April probably. Hey man, can you check ExxonMobil? Okay, let's check ExxonMobil. Or Mobil. ExxonMobil. Yeah, massive dip. Came back to the upside there. 262 billion. Revenue has been lower because of, Corona. Quarterly, it's been growing again. Although they're losing money. ExxonMobil's not looking good. It is not looking good. I'm telling you. Maybe the weekly is different. It is not looking good. We're going to see a massive downturn very soon. I would say as soon as we reach this resistance point, the 65.7 or maybe even the 62.8, we're going to see a significant correction. Might correct all the way back to like 57. That's what I'm foreseeing right now on ExxonMobil. Arfan Bhatti coming in with another $5 donation. He says, GE looking good. Did you see recovery Friday before close? I'll check it out. Thank you for that donation. Let me check. Oh, spelled your name. Yeah, I was quite bullish on it. You can see it right here. The 6th of January, I said, hey, GE could be running. It went from 10.5 all the way to the 14. So that is a 40% gain. That is definitely not bad. A market cap of 110 billion. Wow, look at that. Wow. It's been plummeting, right? So, yeah, I think a lot of these value stocks are about to see the same fate. So it was rallying, it is now correcting. What's happening on the weekly, though? Because that is important as well. Yeah, so what can I say about GE? It is sitting at a very very high MACD level, RSI level as well. And maybe on the monthly we can see something. I think with GE, it is not looking super attractive short term. But I think long term, the trend is definitely heading up. As in this massive dip that we've seen, well, it's going to recover. Although it might be more like this. We'll see. It's just not looking that good on the short term. No. Yeah, I would say not looking that good on the short term. Let's see. Thinking of selling all my Palantir stocks and buying more after the correction. I don't know. I personally like to have some stock, regardless of corrections or not. The value stock run is not over yet, but it could be over very soon. Yeah, I think there's a value trap right now. A lot of people are running to value stocks, and we're going to see that those stocks aren't going to be running long term. This host is right. I waited to buy Tesla last week of February at $550. Sue said that. And yeah, I said in December that Tesla was going to be bottoming out at the end of February, middle of March, at that price point, right? The 550s, 600s, right at that zone. And it got there, which is quite phenomenal. Historically speaking, I would say it is the weakest kind of time period for Tesla. Hold up, guys. I'm gonna grab a bottle of water. I do notice my throat is a little bit dry, so let me just see what's happening with the Nasdaq. Also, I'm gonna be live until the futures market is gonna be open. So we're gonna watch stocks. We're gonna watch the stock market kind of open up, at least the future markets. So we're gonna see how the futures are gonna be looking like. It's gonna give us some indication of where the stock market is gonna be going also tomorrow. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm going to open Bitcoin, because that's the only market right now that is actually open. So I'll grab a bottle of water and I'll be back. I think Bitcoin is going to be rallying to the upside quite substantially. All right, be back in a second. All right, I'm back. Got myself a glass of water. Should be very helpful. Ooh. Welcome, Chili. All right. What's happening here? What's up with GE? I think short term not looking nice. More of a long term play. Alrighty then. Bitcoin is going down, but I don't think it's going to stay at these low levels. I think Bitcoin is going to be rebounding. Looks like it will be rebounding here. Daily chart, you can see here that it's going to be seeing another probably at least 20-30% until it properly tops out here. So I'll be very cautious. Anybody that is buying Bitcoin or holding Bitcoin, be very cautious here. It's getting quite risky. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, I might be wrong. Alright, let's see. Which stock would I like to see right now? I want to just take a brief look at C3.ai, as this is one of my largest holdings personally. You can see right here, it flattened out at roughly about $82, right? $82, and it seems like it's been rallying a little bit, just a small amount, 4% to the upside. Daily chart still looking very low on RSI, and it's below neutral. It used to be sitting right on top of that. I would say oversold, and daily MACD about to be crossing here as well. It's way below the EMAs, so I am expecting a bounce towards those EMAs for C3.ai. And let me see if I can point this out on the 2 hours here. So yeah, 2 hours, generally speaking, I mean, you can see here how green it's been on the MACD for like a week now. We've not seen that in the past, actually. But yeah, then again, we've never seen C3.ai fall this fast and this much. So that's a very peculiar thing. You see the same effect here on the 1 hour. Looking green on the MACD, kind of holding steady at that level. But yeah, short term, it's still not looking good. On the long term, I would say it's looking okay. The daily chart, the 4 hours, looking a lot better. And why am I saying that? Well, because with this massive MACD move, you would expect the price to move along with it. It didn't happen. It actually was quite flat. Then again, you had a lot of insiders also selling simultaneously on the 10th of March. So to be really fair, we'll see how it's going to be coming out the coming days. Sue says, I sold 90% of my Tesla at $900. Bought back at $450. Lucid host is sharp. Thank you. Thank you for that compliment, Sue. Appreciate it. Would you like to share your portfolio if you don't mind? I would like to, and I do that from time to time. I just send a screenshot of what I own. Yeah, you would have to join the Discord for that, because I think it's a very peculiar to show it on YouTube. Yeah, the Discord link is going to be in the description. From time to time, I do share what I hold. Right now, I hold C3.ai, Palantir, Xbang, Tesla, Apple, etc. Your mic, first time so clear. Oh, thank you for that. Thank you for that compliment. Yeah, I actually increased the gain on the microphone, so that's why it's so clear. Which is looking good today, buddy. Thank you. Welcome back, Grant. Alright, guys, make sure you tap that like button. I would appreciate that. We're going to be analyzing Tesla, Apple, and Palantir right now. So we're going to do that. If you guys have any stocks that I should be covering, just let me know in the live chat. But I just want to primarily look at those right now, see where things are headed for those stocks. And I think it's going to be quite nice to know that. I'll also be looking at recovery stocks, of course, and the big banks. See if those are going to keep on running the way they have been running. And we're going to kind of figure out which stocks are actually looking attractive right now in this current market. Hey, just arrived. Have you talked about Neo yet? No, I haven't done that yet. Yeah, we're going to talk about Palantir, definitely. We will be talking about Palantir. Thoughts on Bitcoin? We've been talking about Bitcoin for the past hour. Yeah, I think Bitcoin has some room left. Probably another 20 to 30%, and then it tops out. Okay, so like I said, I want to take a look at Tesla. Proper look at Tesla here. So yeah, we know that Tesla kind of breached on the MACD here. And I actually want to look at years of the past where we saw Tesla move in this kind of fashion. Because as you guys might know, I've been kind of screaming off of every rooftop that Tesla was going to correct at the end of February, beginning of March, and it actually happened. So the reason the method I used to actually know that this was going to happen is I just looked at the past, 2020, Tesla corrected in February, March. We can go back to 2019. There you go, February, March, been going down. 2018. February, March, goes down. 2017. February, March goes down. 2016. February, March goes down. So you get what I mean. Every single time, February and March tends to be those months where you don't see any growth on Tesla, because it's past the holidays. It's after the prime time season where people buy cars. Q1, the first couple months are like the most terrible months in the automotive industry. It's a cyclical kind of market, and that's how I knew that Tesla was going to correct the way it did in at the end of March and February, what we've seen. So, and I don't think a lot of people made that observation. It was quite an easy observation to be making as well. All right, so let's go back. So now what I want to do, I want to see how these recoveries look like, right? So we've seen these dips happen. I mean, generally speaking, it's a dip of about 30 to 40%. This was 40% here in 2016. It recovered all the way until the all-time high. What happened in 2017? Recovered all the way and breached, went above 2018. Same story. So let's just say that Tesla, as things are standing, is going to be recovering all the way by May. It's going to be right at the $800, $900 level. Right around the end of April, May. That potentially means, given the technicals looking so super sweet, given that historically speaking, when it dips down 40%, it tends to come back to the original all-time high or either breach it. Now, there's one problem, and that is the short supply of these semiconductors. That's going to be really bad, and the battery cells, right? So if the supply is not there to be, producing the vehicles, they're not going to have amazing profits. And you also have inflation coming, so that's not going to bode well for the future. But yeah, we're talking about the short term, so we could definitely see Tesla come back right here. I would say mid-April could be sitting at the $900 or just a little bit, $900. That's my target here. So mid-April might be seeing Tesla at $900 or maybe a little bit later. But yeah, it will definitely be running. Yeah, so I would expect Tesla to run to that point, which is roughly from the current price that we have on Tesla, sitting at 693. What would that mean? It would basically mean Tesla's going to be running until the 900. It's like roughly 30%, almost. It is 30% to the upside. So for a 30% upside move on Tesla, one has to wait a month, which, to be really honest, that looks quite good to me. Didn't Tesla buy Bitcoin? Yeah, they did. And Bitcoin is running up to the upside, and I think Tesla's going to benefit from that as well. 100%. It is going to be payday. All right, so let's go to Palantir. Yeah, Palantir is quite interesting right now because it recently broke on the MACD level. It broke right here. You can see it. See my yeah, there you go. Yeah, so it broke the MACD resistance. Recently, when that happened, it moved up like bananas. It went up almost $20. Now, what we're seeing right here, it's crossing here. I would expect it to keep on rallying, to be really honest. Now, how far is this going to be rallying? Because you do know, you can see the difference in the past rallies that we had. And so far, it looks like there's still room left. Although not a whole lot, but yeah, it could definitely be running. I would expect it to be running for the demo day that it has in mid-April, which is roughly right here. That's that demo day. And historically speaking, it moved about 80% to the upside. And here it moved up quite substantially as well. This was after earnings. Although, I do think there are some gaps. Right, there's a gap right here to the 32. So that $32, that's what I'm focused on right now. To be reaching that 32, probably right before the event, the whole demo day. Then on the demo day and during the demo day, maybe right before it, it might see another parabolic move. So say, for example, it kind of moves up in this fashion, and then you have the demo day, and you see another big move, and then it kind of caps out at the $40 resistance point. That could definitely be the case here. So yeah, my estimate on Palantir is it could definitely go to that $40 for that for the demo day, given the recent MACD cross, given the fact that we've seen it run like that for these fundamental events, and we're not even talking about any kind of contract. So who knows? Palantir might get another contract. It's going to publicize that, and you will see Palantir run substantially to the upside. Right. On the short term, it's going to look a bit different, of course, because you have to keep in mind that it's not static. It's not linear. It doesn't go up linearly. So we could see it kind of head up a bit to the 28 and then calm down, cool off, and kind of zigzag around and move in this kind of fashion. Of course, on the short term, it doesn't work that way. It could kind of head up to the 30s and then kind of move sideways and that kind of stuff. But the trend is clear until the middle of April. Also, you know, Palantir will be looking quite bullish, considering that we've seen significant amounts of negativity around Palantir. It's been moving down ever since the top that was created here. So that's roughly a month and a half of just pure negativity on the stock, and I would say the whole market in general. So yeah, if anything, let's say that this is roughly April right here. Just a beautiful arrow to that 32. 32 is my target right now. I think 32 is going to be achievable right now. Then after that, we'll see how people will be reacting to that demo day, whether there's hype left from the Wall Street Bets crew, because we do see that when Wall Street Bets get excited about Palantir, we do see significant pushes to the upside, and it might be another one of those. This was the reason why Palantir, for example, went up to the 45. It was quite ridiculous. This was the 28th of January, right when GameStop was also going to its all-time high. When is demo day? I think demo day is the 14th of April. One second, I'm going to fix my chair. Nice. Alright, so let's move along. Palantir looking very nice. Going to that 32 most likely very soon. I would give it let's just say the end of March. By the end of March, I would expect Palantir to be hitting that 32, which is going to be a gain of roughly 20%. So a 20% gain in 2 weeks could be possible with Palantir. And then I would say by the middle of April, I'll be looking at the 35 to 30, 39, 40. So that zone. But yeah, we'll look into that later on. But yeah, clearly I'm bullish on Palantir, looking quite nicely on the technicals. Let me see. Somebody said something about Reddit. I hate how everything is just attributed to Reddit now. What was the excuse before that for stocks going up or down? Well, it's not the excuse. It's the huge amount of people that get into these stocks. You know, they tend to be from Reddit now, and that's leading. It's almost like a leading indicator. CRSP EHang. Let's check EHang first. I want to check what happens with what's happening with EHang, because I do remember there was a short report on this one. Yeah, I'm quite bullish on this actually. I've actually already said this in the past. Yeah, 4 hours not looking quite good. Although daily chart looks a lot better. It's about to be crossing to the upside, so I wouldn't be surprised. Would not be surprised at all if it pushes. Well, maybe that is a little bit too bullish. I would be surprised if that would be the case. If that MACD cross here would make this hit roughly $60 to $65, that is what I'm looking at right now. That is his own breach all the EMAs, go right above it, and create another lower high. Because we don't know if EHang is out of the rough waters yet. We don't know that yet. Hold up. Oh yeah, so Chris Spar. Hey, look at that. Would you look at that? So CRISPR was sitting at about 118.6. That's when we pointed out, hey, MACD cross coming in. CRISPR is going to be running. And it hit 135, which is roughly, it's a nice, $17. Not bad indeed. I would say there's more room to be to the upside now still. But yeah, let's just check the 4 hours here. Yeah, I think it's going to keep going up. I think it's going to go to the 140s next. It's still sitting quite low. Consistently no revenue. But yeah, that's a lot of these growth stocks are like that. Gara, don't you see a rising wedge on the monthly chart? SP 500. Let me check. I get what you mean. Yeah, I do see it. It looks okay. It looks okay. I'm not worried yet about this. Looks like we have a lot of room to be running to the upside, especially with stimulus coming in. Market is looking fine. We've had several corrections back to back, right? Correction here, correction here. I think the S&P is going to be just fine. I think we're going to see a peaceful time. We're going to see a while where the S&P just runs very still to the upside. That is my expectation. Let me see the monthly. Yeah, monthly is not. It's not looking good. It is definitely not looking good. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how long it can sustain these levels on the monthly, sitting at all-time highs in terms of like momentum. It will be quite interesting to see how long this will be lasting. Yep. But yeah, I do know these kind of rallies, they can last a while. They can definitely last a while. But yeah, we're getting very close to the end of it. Let's see. Could you check out Nano Dimension? Yeah, I can. Target April C3.ai. My target for C3.ai in April. Well, it depends. I mean, we've not seen it actually go up a whole lot recently, so we don't have a lot of data to go off of right now. Although this is maybe more evidence of how it kind of usually behaves. But yeah, we're seeing a lot of weird movement here. If we see similar trends, if we see a similar trend here for the price, I personally, just based off technicals, right? If it goes really bullish, I would say at a minimum, middle of April, we're going to see that 127. If we're in luck, 150. So that is kind of the range that I'm looking at right here. But there's not a whole lot of information to be going off of, to be really honest. It IPO'd in, beginning of December. Huge downturn here. But yeah, if we see like a similar rally, similar movement to the upside at this price level, it could be sitting anywhere from 127 to the 150s. That range. But it's going to depend on the news cycle, on fundamentals. It could change. We could see a lot of good stuff coming. Wait, you said it was going to continue to the upside for many months, but now you say the monthly doesn't look good. Yeah, so just because I said that it's going to be positive for many months, doesn't mean that the monthly has to look good. The monthly doesn't look good. I mean, maybe half a year from now, it's going to look bad. For the next 3 months, it could still look good. So it's more about the time frame. Yeah, monthly isn't looking good on the long term. Short term is looking okay. But yeah, it's just not looking that attractive right now for long-term investments or anything like that. Gara, okay, your top reopening stocks. Well, I've been saying for a long time now that I think American Airlines was looking really solid. I said this in December and January. Well, back then it was sitting at $14. It's now sitting at $23. So then it's the question: does it still look good? And I think no, I don't think it looks good anymore. So American Airlines. Yeah, it might have more upside for the coming months. It's just, I don't know. I don't think it looks that good anymore. It could run to 30, but that's like another 20%. Maybe the weekly is a lot more bullish. No, weekly is not even that more bullish. So I would say American Airlines not looking too attractive right now. After all the upside that we've seen, no way in hell I'll be buying more of that. And then the same thing goes for CCL probably, where it already saw quite large movements. I said back when I was sitting at like what was it? $15, $20. It was a great buying opportunity, but it's now sitting at 28.5. And keep in mind, the reopening process is going to take some time. So, yeah, I guess CCL, Carnival Cruise Lines, as long as they're going to survive, I think they're going to do good. And I would expect that gap to be filled to the 42. So yeah, there would be, I would say, roughly 40% left to the upside on the Carnival Corp. Oh yeah, Nano Dimension. Let me check Nano Dimension right now. Yeah, what? Hold up, Hilton though. Nah, Hilton. What the hell? Why is Hilton? What? It's sitting at $126. 35 billion market cap. But why? Why is it sitting above all-time highs? That makes no sense. That makes no sense at all. It's not like Hilton has a whole lot of customers. You can see this right here. Their revenue is not at the same levels. Not even close to like normal levels. So I would say Hilton is about to collapse. It makes no sense for the price to be this high for that stock. Yeah, there you go. Even on the monthly, you can see that it's getting very overbought. Hilton not looking good right now. I like Airbnb. I like Airbnb as a recovery stock. I like Airbnb. I think we're going to see some more upside with Airbnb. You can see this on the daily. It's about to cross again, and I'm telling you, we're going to see some upside here. Airbnb is going to be killing it. As the economy reopens, we'll probably see a lot of upside for Airbnb coming in. Let's see what's happening with the US 100. Still nothing. But yeah, we would also see a breakout happen on the SPX, which is already happening. But so the SPX, the SPY, the S&P 500, whatever you want to call it, looks like it's going to be running even more towards that 4,000, right? So that's that crucial level. You'll see the S&P run to that 4,000. You can see the MACD's about to cross here. RSI about to get to the overbought. So it's going to hit that level. I would expect it to hit that the coming week. And it might even see resistance there, as it's a psychological level. Let's go back to Nano Dimension. Let's see, Nano Dimension on the 4 hours. It's already been running. I think it looks good. I think it still looks good. Just don't really like the 4 hour movement here. But yeah, I could definitely I think one could definitely expect this to keep going the way it's going. Maybe even back to the $14. I would say at least 20 to 25 percentage points could definitely be possible here. on Nano Dimension. But a whole lot of stocks are looking quite bullish right now. Let's take a look at Apple. Yeah, so with Apple, it broke a trend line, I believe. Yeah, broke this one and that one. So if anything, it looked like it was in a bearish channel here. We did see that the MACD cross was going to be happening very soon. So you would expect that this drop here at the 116, that is the bottom. So from here onwards, it's going to look just beautiful. Breach this bearish channel. Probably return back to the 135. Just Julia is coming in with a comment here. Stock market opening time has changed in the Netherlands. The American stock market opens at 13:30 instead of 15:30. What are your brokers saying? Let's see. What is my broker saying? It's not saying a whole lot. But if that's the case, then that is the case. Oh, there you go. Daylight saving time will begin in the USA from session opening on Monday. Daylight saving time. Yeah, it says that I use Trading 2 and 2. It says daylight saving time in the USA and Canada on Sunday, March 14th. Daylight saving time will begin in the USA from session opening on Monday, March 15th. Session close on Friday. Until session close on Friday, March 26th. Trading hours of US stocks will be shifted 1 hour back to coincide with the close of US markets. So yeah, it's 1 hour. It's not 2 hours. Yeah, it says backwards actually here. 1 hour back. Which basically means that's great. That is fantastic. Springtime, of course. Right. It's going to be for roughly 11 days for me, so that will be interesting to adjust to. But that is really interesting. That would basically mean I would have to wake up a little bit earlier. Probably. Yep, pretty much. I'm going to have to do that. So weird how that works. It is definitely better for me. I mean, well, my whole schedule. I have to change my whole schedule around that now. But it's no problem. All right. So, Apple, right? What is happening with Apple here? On the 1 hour, you can see it's about to be breaking out to the upside. Looks like it, though. 4 hours, not really convinced here, actually. But yeah, we're still sitting at RSI. It's not super high. Definitely could see another move here. Break Well, I think what's going to happen here, it's probably going to try to break through at 125, come back, and then gradually go to the 130s. See a lot of resistance, back test at this support, roughly 125, and then probably head back to the 140s. So that could definitely be a possibility here with Apple. So looks like people that are holding Apple are going to have some really awesome days ahead of them. Wait, hold up. I'm going to have to read that message again. All right. Okay, so I want to check what's going to be happening with these banks, right? So it's going to be quite interesting. Banks and value stocks in general, are they still looking good? Should we all be moving back to value stocks and recovery stocks, etc.? Let's take a look at the big banks right now. At first, we can see with JP Morgan, for example, it's been running. It reached the all-time high in January, and it's been skyrocketing, right? So will this continue? We have earnings coming up for this particular company. I think it's the biggest bank in America. One of the biggest banks. Technically speaking, it looks like it's going to run a little bit further. It definitely does. Looks like we're going to see more juice being squeezed with a JP Morgan. But then daily is not looking that attractive, and weekly especially not looking attractive. So it's more of a parabolic run that we're seeing on with some of these big banks out there. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth buying one of these stocks, because I think what's going to be the case here is it might run for a while, maybe like 10%. Say it runs 10%, tops out, sees resistance, and you'll see it be trending downwards, considering that it's been running upwards since October. JP Morgan's been running for quite some time. So that's why I would say not a whole lot of upside here. And it's moving along with, I would say, the yields, the yield interest going up here, or the bond interest going up, which in itself, I would say, is a catalyst for JP Morgan to be running. But I think the ship has sailed. It's already moved a lot. It wouldn't make sense to be going into these big banks anymore. I think we might see the same thing with Goldman Sachs. You might see the same thing with Morgan Stanley. They're already looking quite bloated. I'm not expecting them to be running 50% or like 100%. So an opportunity there, it's not much of an opportunity there, to be frank. Now, looking at some value stocks, we've been riding Coca-Cola. Said that Coca-Cola was going from the 48 was going to from 48 all the way back to the 50s, and it reached the 50s. 54 specifically. Pardon me. Let's see if it's still looking attractive here at this current price. I think Coca-Cola is looking still okay. It's not looking terrible, I can tell you that. It is still looking... I would say Coca-Cola, yeah, definitely still looking good. However, keep in mind, Coca-Cola doesn't run like 30%, 40%. No. Coca-Cola is the kind of company that runs very slow. So from this $50 might run to like the 57 or maybe the 60, which could be a 20% increase in the price in maybe 6 months. So unless you want to play it like really, really safe, I would say that doesn't look very attractive personally to me. But yeah, it does look like Coca-Cola is going to be running. It's going to be running quite substantially as the economy reopens, as inflation kicks in. But yeah, let's go to Verizon. I said in the past Verizon was quite bullish. But is it really? The weekly is looking quite nice, I would say. The daily does look like there's room left. There's earnings coming up. Usually it runs up for earnings. We've seen this in the past several times. And on the 4 hours, yeah, it's going to bottom out and then probably run after that. I would say, yeah, Verizon also looking like it's going to see a bit of a nice rally to the upside here. I would say at least go back to the $59, maybe $60, which is going to be 10% on the short term. Is it worth it? You guys decide. I personally think it's not. These value plays are kind of plays for people that have a lot of money to be deploying, like millions and maybe even billions of dollars. So they can have like a bit of a safe haven for their cash, where the cash could be appreciating in those companies, and simultaneously be safe. That's more of how these value stocks are being used at the moment, particularly by Warren Buffett, who recently got into Verizon and Chevron. So let's talk about Chevron. All right. Why am I analyzing these boomer stocks? Yeah, like I said, we're going to take a look at like banks, value stocks a little bit. See, are they looking attractive? Should we all get into those? That's kind of the question that we're going to be answering. And it depends from person to person, right? So some people like to have a proper safe haven for their cash where it can appreciate a tiny bit but just stay safe. Other people like to take high risk and get into growth and tech stocks where they see significant moves either to the upside or downside, but betting on the upside. And it all depends, right? Personal preference. I would say Chevron. Yeah, I would personally not touch this. Very risky. It's already back to all-time highs. Chevron is no. It is a big no-no. Big no-no. It's about to be topping out here in this zone. So I think most of the juice has been squeezed with Chevron in terms of like the value play that it was kind of supposed to be. It's now sitting at all-time highs. And it's sitting at all-time highs despite all the liquidity in the market. And it's not looking like a good play at the moment. So yeah, maybe like a couple percentages left, and it's going to top out. But personally, I would say it is not worth it. Unless inflation goes up substantially, and there's like massive money going into value stocks. Okay, let's go back. But yeah, so that was my opinion on some value stocks, you know, the big banks. Now let's take a look at commodities. Let's just take a look at the index, right? What's the index doing right now? Index is heading up, so commodities are going up, up, up. So commodities still looking bullish, just like the value stocks. Yeah, although I have to say, I mean, it definitely did see a significant rally there. Maybe if we look at the weekly, yeah, commodities, I think not really that attractive. Maybe during a proper market like downturn or like a market crash, I think maybe then you would see them go up a lot. But right now, this is what we've seen recently. It was more of a correction than a crash. But I'm gonna grab some more water. I wonder how that looks like. This glass looks really funny because it's kind of a green bluish glass. So some of it is like transparent because it's been green is being filtered out in the background for the green screen. Kind of cool. Anyway, I'll grab some water. Let me know down below in the live chat which companies should we be covering in terms of the technicals, or which questions do you have that you want to be asking me. I'll be answering those in a moment. I'm going to get some water now. Be back in a second. I'm back. Oh, let's rock and roll. All right. Let's see which stocks people want to be seeing right now. Google, Neo, Upwork, C3.ai. FCEL. All right. Okay. So let's cover Neo, FCEL, and Google. Let's check Neo right now. I think Neo is gonna move along with the other companies out there, like the Tesla, the Xpeng. They're all kind of moving in the same direction, and I would say, if everything goes well with these supply issues, the shortages, given that we have a MACD crossover coming in, Neo is going to gradually recover back to the 60s by the middle of April, right? There's a high possibility of that happening. So yeah, I think Neo could be sitting at around 50 to 55 by the end of the month. It's another $10 that's coming for Neo stock, I would say. But yeah, keep in mind, 4 hours could still look a little bit rough. So we might see a bit of sideways movement until we see that massive movement that would take us to that $60. But it does look a lot better than we expected, which is fantastic. Substantial resistance at the 51. Do notice that. Very substantial resistance at the 51.5. And so that's going to probably be the intermediary top. Test it, go sideways, head back up. And then we don't really have a whole lot of resistance here. Maybe right at the 55, but it's going to pass right through. go to that $59 to $60 level, and then you would see another substantial correction probably. Kongen af DK Legenden, a nice name, coming in with 17 Danish krone as a donation. Hi G, you devil. Mara looks strong. Yeah, it does. It does look strong. However, on top of that, I would say, while it does look strong, I would say be careful. Be careful what happens around Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I think this is the last leg up. That's my personal opinion. And if that is true, what's going to happen when it tops out? Well, Mara's going to top out as well. So my personal target on Mara is going to be right around the $60, right? This could be a possibility. We see that the daily chart right here, MACD, is about to cross one more time. Earnings is coming in very close. So, yeah, be careful. Who knows what's going to be happening, right? When was the last time we had earnings? I was right here. That is crazy. How did Mara go from like literally $1 to like, some people had like 40x their money on Mara. That is nutty. But I would say it is a possibility it hits 60 and it just drops and it just never comes back to these original highs, as Bitcoin corrects as well. Wait, the market has already opened. The market has already opened. What? I forgot. Yeah, so Nasdaq is going up. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. That is amazing. So the market is opening up 1 hour earlier. I completely forgot that. I thought tomorrow that would be the case, but it's already right now happening. That is beautiful. So we can already see what's happening. The Nasdaq is going up. Hey, remember at the beginning of this live stream, I did say, hey, Nasdaq is going to go up here, and it's going up. It's not going down, which is beautiful. Let's check what's happening with the S&P 500. Now, S&P is currently going up as well, which is just great. Yeah, I think getting excited right now doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But yeah, the futures are now open, which is fantastic. Paul Gurnett says, Argo blockchain, how about those guys? Let me check it out. I have no idea if this is it. But it looks like Argo is about to be breaking out. If anything, it looks like it's about to break out substantially. Pretty much. Beautiful MACD movement here. Although maybe daily looks a bit different. So yeah, you're not going to see the daily move like whoop, that doesn't happen. So well, although right there it did happen quite like that. I would say we're going to see an uptrend here with this Argo blockchain. But as long as Bitcoin goes up, right? If Bitcoin goes down, it's done for. Sorry, I just got here. Bearish or bullish next week? This week? I think it's going to be bullish. Let's see. AI Palantir. Yeah, great that the Nasdaq is opening green. I would say it's a lot better than opening red, of course. I think the great part about it is that it further validates the fact that it might be running tomorrow after tomorrow until Wednesday. How is the 10-year Treasury chart? It's not updated yet. Do we have futures on that? I'm not sure about that. I don't think so. Highly doubt that. One second. Uno momento. Man, if that is the case though, if it's 1 hour backwards, I have to wake up 1 hour earlier myself as well, so I can't make it too late. I just realized that my whole schedule is going to be a little bit different, but luckily enough, it changes only once in a couple seasons. Yeah, so let's see what happens on Monday though. Let's see what happens on Monday. I'm gonna try to predict what's gonna happen on Monday for Palantir. So see if I can do that. It's a very short-term prediction I'm about to be making, but maybe I can kind of already make a prediction on that. Yeah. 1 hour looks quite overextended. We might see Palantir open red, actually. I would not be surprised if that would happen here. Because it's right at the resistance point. Opens red, and then heads up. So it might hit the 26 again. Despite the market running. So possibly opens up red, sells off, gets back to the 26, validates the uptrend, and it heads up back to the 27 and possibly 28 by the end of the day or by after tomorrow. There we go. Nice. Let's see if I can predict what's going to happen with Tesla tomorrow. The trend, of course, is up. I mean, that's quite evident here. It's already broke to the upside and looks like it might break further to the upside. 15 minutes looking good. RSI, still also room left. Yeah, I think Tesla is going to be running. I would expect it to hit that 700 at first and potentially, if it breaks through, possibly go to that 720. But 700 first, then 720. There's no in between at that level. So yeah, it could be a positive day for Tesla as well. And Nasdaq is dropping now. You can see that here, dropping slightly, but it's whatever. Yeah. All right. Guys, I think I'm going to be wrapping up the live stream for now. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. The reason that I'm going to be stopping right now is because I'm I'm going to have to also sleep earlier, and I've got some things to be doing right before bedtime. So personally, it's 11 p.m. right now, but usually I was used to it that the futures would open at midnight and that the market would open at 3:30, but it's going to be opening up at 2:30, which is a bit earlier. So I'm going to have to change some things in my own schedule. So that's going to take some time. But we've been live for almost 2 hours. Hit a like for that. Also, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because we're going to be live every single day, analyzing stocks and kind of figuring out which stocks are going to be breaking out substantially. But yeah, like I said, I'm quite optimistic. I think what we've seen was not a market crash. This is not a market crash. This was just a correction. And we're going to see a lot of movement to the upside and a lot of green days ahead of us. So, follow me on Twitter. Twitter link is also going to be down below in the description, where I pretty much update you guys on particular stocks in the stock market and many more things. So follow me on Twitter. Twitter link is in the description. I'll link you guys to the Discord community that you can be part of. It's completely free. We talk about stocks, investing, trading, finance, you name it. And 3,600 people have joined the Discord. So make sure you join the Discord as well. I'll be there personally. So if you have any questions, you can ask me in the Discord community. Link will be down below in the description and also in the live chat. Also, on top of that, if you want to support my channel at all and get extra benefits like buy and sell signals, like consultations, like my public account, and several updates that are usually shared on the Patreon, you can definitely support me on Patreon. Patreon link is also going to be in the description. All right. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Hope you had a nice weekend. Hope you're going to have an awesome Sunday. We'll be live tomorrow